Everyone obsesses over the top of the draft, but championships are often built on the steals, the players a team grabs outside the top 5 who play like lottery picks. And in a class this deep, those bargains are everywhere. So today, using the numbers, let's hunt the best value picks in the 2026 draft, the prospects who could massively outperform where they get selected. Here's the plan. First, what actually makes a draft steal? Then, the stars who could slide into bargain territory. Then, the production monsters whose per-minute numbers jump off the page. Then, the specialist with one elite translatable skill. And the upside swings worth a gamble. Stats are verified, the picks are my projection, and I'll be honest about the analytics traps along the way. This is Game is Culture. If you like prospects evaluated by production, not just hype, hit subscribe. We're chasing 1,000, it's free, and it helps a ton. Now, what makes a steal? What makes a steal? A steal is simple, a player who produces far above his draft slot. In a deep class, they multiply, because real talent gets pushed down the board. One of the best tools to find them is per 36-minute production, which shows what a player would do with a starter's workload. It's how you spot bench players in college who are secretly producing like pros. Used carefully, it uncovers gems. But you can't just chase numbers. The best steals combine strong production with one of 3 things. A sliding star whose stock dropped for non-basketball reasons. A translatable elite skill like passing or rim protection. Or youth with real upside. Match big production to a clear NBA role and you found value. Match it to nothing and you found a trap. The trick is telling them apart. The sliding stars. The best kind of steal is a top-tier talent who simply slides. Illinois combo guard Keaton Wagler is a top 5 prospect on many boards, but in a deep class, someone that good can slip to 6, 7, or 8. 19 points and 4.5 assists per 36 with real two-way feel. If he falls even a few spots, whoever grabs him is getting lottery talent at a discount. Same with Darius Acuff. The Arkansas guard averaged 23.5 points and over 6 assists a game. Real per-game numbers, not inflated ones, with a downhill scoring punch. In a class this loaded with guards, he could slip past the very top picks. Any team that lands a 23-point lead guard outside the top 5 is stealing a potential starter on a rookie deal. The production monsters. Now the per 36 standouts. Alabama sophomore Labaron Philon is a machine. Nearly 26 points and almost 6 assists per 36 minutes. A shifty lead guard who scores and creates in bunches. Those are eye-popping rates for a player likely available outside the lottery. If the production translates even part way, Philon is the kind of guard that makes a front office look brilliant in 3 years. Then there's the ready now value. Michigan's Yaxel Lendeborg, an older senior forward, fills the whole sheet. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block and a half per 36. He's not a teenager with a high ceiling. He's a polished producer who could contribute immediately. For a team that needs help now, not in 3 years, a steal like Lendeborg in the back half is gold. The bigs offer value too. North Carolina's Henry Visar puts up nearly 20 and 10 per 36 with shot blocking, and Houston freshman Chris Sanak grabs over 11 rebounds per 36 as a mobile athletic 5. Modern centers who rebound, run, and protect the rim are exactly the kind of role player that wins games, and both could be had well below where their production suggests. The specialists. Some steals win with one elite translatable skill. Start with rim protection. Michigan's Ade Mara is 7'4" and blocks 4 shots per 36 minutes, a genuinely rare deterrent at the basket. Shot blocking translates to the NBA better than almost any college skill. A 7'4" center swatting everything in sight is worth a gamble the moment he slips out of the lottery. Then, elite passing. Purdue's Braden Smith dishes over 9 assists per 36, one of the best pure distributors in all of college basketball. The knock is obvious. He's under 6 feet, which scares teams off. But playmaking and feel are real NBA skills, and a floor general who can genuinely run an offense is the kind of role player a smart team happily grabs in the second round. The upside swings. For teams that can be patient, the international names are classic value. Kareem Lopez out of New Zealand fills the sheet at nearly 17 and 9 per 36 with steals, a young, versatile forward. And Spanish guard Sergio De La Rey posts nearly 7 assists per 36 as a big lead ball handler with pro experience. International prospects often slide on draft night, which is precisely why they become steals. And the athletic swings. Arizona's Koa Pete is a powerful forward at 18 and 7 per 36. Texas wing Dalen Swain stuffs the sheet with nearly 2 steals per 36. And Baylor's Cameron Carr scores at a 20-point per 36 clip. None are sure things, but each has a clear, athletic NBA archetype. Bet on traits and motor late, and sometimes you hit on a rotation player for nothing. If I'm ranking my favorite steals, give me Keaton Wagler if he slides. That's lottery talent at a bargain. Then Ade Mara for the rare rim protection, and Braden Smith as the late round playmaker who outlives his draft slot. Each one pairs strong production with a skill that clearly translates. Those are the boxes you want checked before you bet on a steal. Talent, production, and a real NBA role. The analytics trap. Now the honest warning. Per 36, stats inflate. They assume a bench player could keep his rate over starter minutes, which often isn't true. They don't account for weak competition, bad shot selection, or a skill that simply won't translate. A monster per 36 line on a losing team can be a mirage. The numbers point you toward names, but the tape and the role have to confirm them. That's why the real skill in drafting steals is separating signal from noise. Elite passing, rim protection, and shooting tend to translate. Empty volume scoring on a bad team tends not to. The prospects I'd actually bet on are the ones whose production is built on a skill the NBA values, not just a big counting stat. Get that distinction right, and you find the gems instead of the traps. So which is the single best value of the draft? For me, it's whoever lands Keaton Wagler if he slips out of the top 5. A genuine lottery talent at a discount price. But the beauty of a class this deep is that you don't need the perfect pick. From the back of the lottery to the second round, the value is everywhere. Teams that do their homework will find a steal. The lazy ones will watch one walk. And that's the quiet truth of every great team. Stars win you games, but steals win you titles. The cheap, perfect role players who let you afford the stars. The champions years from now are being drafted in the teens and 20s this month. In a class this deep, the smart front offices know it, and they'll be hunting value long after the cameras lose interest. So keep your list. Wagler and Acuff if they slide. Phelan and Lendeborg as production bets. Mara and Braden Smith as elite specialists. Lopez, De La Rey, Pete, and Swain as upside swings. None are guaranteed, but in a deep draft, a few of these names will be starting playoff games in a couple of years, for whichever team was bold enough to grab them. So those are my draft steals, the value hiding outside the top 5. Now I want your board. Who's the most underrated prospect in this class? And which late pick becomes a future star? Drop your sleepers below. And if you want the full draft, the mock, the class breakdown, and every team's need, it's all on the channel, so subscribe and join the family.